Before I begin, I just want to say I hope all of you are having a fantastic day or night whenever you watch this video. I'm giving all my positive energy straight to all of you right now out there because I love you guys and you always give me a bright smile, and I always think about it when like my day is down or I'm feeling bad, whatever. When I think about you guys, when I think about the community, I get happy, I get excited. And so let us begin. Let's talk about what this video is about, and let's go over what is the best anime of the winter of anime so far. So, as you can see on the screen, this is a top 10 chart. I did not make this, for clarification, and obviously my opinions might vary from this top 10 chart. But I do want to point out, this does give us a good look at how the anime community is receiving the current anime season. I think these are very important, and regardless if you disapprove or dislike this chart, or you don't think that these series should be in the top 10 or where they're currently placed, it doesn't change the fact that if you look at the bottom here, 20,000 people did vote. They did vote in this chart, which does give us a good look at what people are potentially enjoying from this season. So let's go over it. Number 10, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. I watched the first episode. I haven't seen the second episode. I believe the second episode's out already. But I watched the first episode. I really like it. I want to make a video on it. It deserves a video, but it really took me by surprise. I expected the series to be more moe blob, cutesy, that's about it. But Sugar Apple, Fairy Tale does have more of a serious side story or a main story going on than more than meets the eye. And in a way, it gives me a vibe. A vibe of Spice and Wolf. Now, they're different series. I'm not saying they're the same, but it gives me a similar vibe. Like the traveling cart and all that, it does give me that vibe. And Sugar Apple Fairy, I'm not really surprised for it to be in the top 10. It was good. It was a solid start. Now, number 9 is what shocked me. Eminence in Shadow. Now, we do need to make sure we clarify a few things. This is week 2 of the anime season. So this is basically going on the episodes of week 2. So for instance, the latest Eminence in Shadow episode, etc. Now, when we really think about that, the Eminence in Shadow episode that came out this past week on Wednesday, I know there was some that didn't necessarily like it too much because it didn't have like crazy action and there was a very slow episode and there wasn't obviously a lot of fan service in it as well. So the fact that Eminence is this slow and dropped, 8 places, I'm not surprised. I'm really not that surprised. But I do think, seeing just such a massive drop really does speak volumes about how other things are coming in swinging and willing to rip Eminence from its top 10 spot. Now, moving on, we got Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. I think that this is a very cutesy show. I also need to make a video on this, but it's very cute, very adorable, definitely something that is doing justice to the manga so far. I really love it, and I think that if you love comfy, romantic type series and stuff, you probably will enjoy Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. It's good. I fully recommend it. Now, Spy Classroom, number 7. This one dropped a bit, as you can see. This is based on episode 2, and I'm just going to keep it real. I don't know if this is true or not, but I do want to point this out because I did see a lot of discussion around it. People were talking that Spy Classroom is getting rushed. And not just like they're cutting details. It's getting rushed. Like they're compressing volumes of content within episodes. Which, if that is indeed true, and this isn't being exaggerated, or people aren't lying, or freaking out for no reason, then that is legitimately terrifying. Because anytime something like that happens for a series, just write off the series. Just write off the anime. There's no point. Because at that point, it's just like, just go read the original source. If you're actually interested in the said series, just go to the original source. Because if it's getting compressed that much, you're not going to understand things. It's just going to be confusing. And it's just not going to be an enjoyable experience. So that is food for thought. And so if that is indeed the case, and Spy Family is, or not Spy, I don't know, oh my, Spy Classroom is getting rushed, then clearly this is probably not going to be in the top 10 in the following weeks. Like, if it continues that path and it is doing that, this is not going to even be in the top 10 anymore. But we'll see. Now, moving up, we got the Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2. I personally like Misfit of Demon King Academy. It's not my favorite series. It's not my most look-forward anime of this season. No, by no means. But I do think it has a place. It is enjoyable. It does have quite the fan base. I think a lot of people were, I guess, anticipating Season 2. So the fact that it's here doesn't really surprise me. I think there's quite a bit of fans of the Misfit of Demon King Academy, and the fact that Season 2, yeah. So, it might move up in ranks, it might go down in ranks, we will have to see. Now, above that, we got The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. I have not started this one, so I want to just be point blank there. I haven't started it, but the fact that it is in the top 5 does let me know that I need to get off my butt and I need to sit down and watch it, because I have heard it's good. People have told me it's good. I should give it a watch. I don't know if that's true or not. I have to, see with my own 2 eyes, but I have been told it is good. And so seeing it here, making it in the top 5 definitely speaks volumes after there's 20,000 votes that people obviously like the show. So I definitely do want to check it out. Above that, we got Blue Lock. Now, Blue Lock, okay. Blue Lock is a good anime. I don't think anyone could disagree with that one. And I think that it gained a lot of popularity thanks to the recent real-world events of sports, like the soccer tournament or whatever that happened recently, and how Argentina kind of swept and won. I think that Blue Lock definitely got a lot of publicity, or a passive boost in audience thanks to real-world events. So when I think about that, Blue Lock being in the top 5 as well, not really that surprised. It's done really well. Animation, art look really good. Voice acting is great. Story's pretty fun. So, top 5, not shocked. The next one, however, the top 3, Vinland Saga on the 3rd spot. This one shocks me. Now, I'm not saying that because I think Vinland Saga deserves to not be here or deserves to be lower. I'm shocked that it's number 3 and not higher. Because, hell, Vinland Saga was talked about a lot. I would say out of everything from this season, Vinland was probably one of the most anticipated. Easily. Like, I feel like a lot of people anticipated Vinland Saga Season 2, and the fact that it's in the top 3, but it's the number 3rd spot, is very shocking. It is legitimately shocking to me. I expected this to be higher. Maybe a lot of people didn't watch the episode. That's a possibility, but I figured it would be much higher. Now, above this, we have Tomo-chan is a girl. Tomo-chan is a girl. So this one, I have watched. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm just going to straight up and say, highly recommend it. If you have not watched Tomo-chan is a girl, you should. She's a tomboy. It's a romance series about her being a tomboy. And if you're into that, you're going to love it. It really is good. And I'm going to make a separate video on that very soon. Now, number 1, the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. This one being number 1, on one hand, I'm shocked. And on the other hand, I'm not. And the reason for this is because Lycris Recoil last year became very popular. People absolutely loved Lycris Recoil. That one swept the anime community out of nowhere. Became very popular, very well selling in Japan. Yeah. And so the fact that the magical revolution of, the reincarnated princess is, or Tensei Ojo, easier to say, is kind of reminding people of that vibe, like given that kind of Chisato vibe, like the main character of Lycris Recoil, is definitely causing people to kind of attach and put their teeth into the show. And I see a lot of fans of Lycris Recoil really liking it. Now, I don't know if that's going to continue, but I think one of the big things is that it has, Yuri going on in it, and it was, definitely Yuri, not, just regular Yuri bait from what it appears so far. So everything about it seems like it's going down a Lycris Recoil route. This could change, but it definitely is something. If you enjoy fantasy and potentially Yuri, you're probably going to like it. Just going to keep it real. Now, talking about the actual vote percentage, as we can see here on the side, and also what is not on here, there is a series that's not on here that shocks me. For one, Nier. I'm very surprised Nier isn't on here. Now, I know they're not going to probably count the episode that came out today, and I'll make a video on that tomorrow, but I'm really shocked. I really guess a lot of people did not like that CGI to just not see Nier in the top 10. It really surprised me, because I thought it was a solid first episode, and I know I might be biased there, but it's pretty shocking. Now, another thing I do want to point out as well is this percentage. And someone on r/anime actually made a little post about this. It kind of goes a little bit more in-depth than I would. So I'm just going to, parrot what they said here. So this season is going to be utter chaos at Anime Corner. Here's this full week's results for reference. So basically you have Tensei Ojo won with a 4.86 vote share, which I believe is the lowest that's ever won a week. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but if anyone wants to clarify, please do so. There is just a gap of 0.7% separating 3rd place from 10th place. So the percentage is right here. So if you look at this, the gaps, so 3rd place to 10th place, there is literally barely a gap. And it's true. That is actually kind of wild how close the gap is. And so, continuing on, there is just a 0.64% gap separating the 10th place from the 18th place, which is where My Hero and Tokyo Revengers are, who tied with a 2.55%. There is just a 3.01% gap separating first place from the 23rd place, Buddy Daddies. So, this pretty much lets us know that there is a lot of good anime. And a lot of people are watching so many different shows that they can't really decide on what is necessarily the best so far from this season. I think this is very interesting. It means that it's not one-sided, like one show's just getting all the votes. This means that a bunch of different shows are really just standing out to people, and just like people are enjoying them. So it does showcase the quality of the season, that it's definitely quite a bit. A lot of people are watching things, a lot of different things. It's just not one show. So I do appreciate that. But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about the current state of the anime season, kind of what is currently the best so far, and see what you guys think. What would you kind of label as your top 10 anime of Winter of Anime 2023 so far? Let me know in the comments below. But with that, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.